The two combatants in Super Bowl 59 stack up very well against each other. But just how well? I'm going to do a draft to see who wins at each position. So, the rules of this, very simple. We just basically draft a starting lineup from either the Eagles or the Chiefs and see where we land. I'll be honest, this was easier than I thought. This was a significantly easier process than I was anticipating it being. So we start at the quarterback spot. Guess. It's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is better than Jalen Hurts. Breaking news. Can we get the social team on this one for the breakout video? Yeah, that's that. At running back, take a shot. It's Saquon. He is... We could do this draft with every team, and it would be Saquon Barkley. Best running back in the league. Bam. Right there. At wide receiver, if Rashee Rice was healthy and produced at the way that he was at the beginning of the season, then this would be an interesting conversation. The only difficult part of this was which Kansas City wide receiver we would take at wide receiver 3. Because obviously, there is not a receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs that is better than A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith. So those were easy. 1-2 picks there. Wide receiver 3, I did go Xavier Worthy in that spot. Hollywood Brown very much could have worked his way in there as well. I don't take Juju as seriously that he could go for that, but Xavier Worthy was the way to go there. At tight end, there would be a lot of people who would probably pick Goddard here, but one game, season on the line. Max Kellerman, the lasers are pointed at Earth, and he wants Iguodala. I want Travis Kelce. I'm just going to take Travis Kelce at tight end. Offensive line, I'm not going to go position by position. Quite frankly, I don't know. I could make some picks. I recognize that name over that name. I don't spend all my time watching the offensive line. Maybe a flaw in my game, but like I said earlier, the people who are saying I don't know anything in that Canucks video on YouTube, I'll tell you when I don't know anything. And the offensive line, I think I have a general idea, but I'm just going to go the unit as a whole, and I'm going to say Philadelphia. And honestly, I did go kind of position by position, and I think they took it 4-1. So, pretty good. But I'm taking Philadelphia as a unit on the offensive line. On the defensive side of the ball, Jalen Carter on the defensive end. He is absolutely, he's been a game wrecker and just an absolute game changer. And someone said it in the comments on YouTube, and I agree. I did not put enough emphasis on the development of this defense as the season went on. Because there were some questions about this defense. And, things weren't necessarily clicking the way that they should. And then they started to click. And it became a very, very good team. And a lot of that was because of the play of Jalen Carter really finding that next level on the defensive side of the football. The other defensive end that we have on this Frankenstein mismatch team is George Karlaftis. He is a game wrecker on the other side as well, and it just feels like anytime there is any pressure on the quarterback, Nance or whoever is saying, oh yeah, George Karlaftis, that's the guy. Throwing it out there. He is that dude. So that is, those are my starting defensive ends. Defensive tackle, I understand that the Eagles, the setup is a bit more 3-4, and the Chiefs isn't. I went with the 4-3, and again, full transparency, it's because that's what I play on Madden. So, defensive tackle, the first one is Chris Jones, one of the, not even, he is the best defensive tackle probably in the National Football League, so him. And Jordan Davis on the Philadelphia Eagles, a nice little 1-for-1 split there, just a real strong player at the nose tackle spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. Our linebackers on the outside, I have Drew Tranquill for Kansas City. We talked about him in the X Factors for this game, that he's going to be very important when it comes to stopping the run against Saquon Barkley and this, or the read option with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles attack. But he's tied for the team lead in tackles right now in the postseason for Kansas City. The other two linebackers, I went Philadelphia. Zach Bond was an obvious choice. He was an All-Pro this year. And Nolan Smith Jr., I mentioned him as a potential X factor as well. The speed that he can rush the quarterback with is so impressive. And what he can do in that regard makes him the obvious choice, actually, for this particular matchup. In the secondary, we alternate a little bit. We go Trent McDuffie at the cornerback spot. I think he is one of the best corners, if not the best cornerback in the National Football League, and he is a big reason why the Kansas City Chiefs have the success that they do against number one wide receivers across the league. On the other side, Quinyon Mitchell gets our cornerback 2 nod, as his season was fantastic. And to really see his impact when he went down with an injury in it was the divisional round, right? He went down with an injury against the LA Rams, and they immediately started having a bit more success through the air. He is a game changer to this secondary, and so he had to be on our drafted team. At strong safety, it's Justin Reid. Again, another guy who is just in the middle of it all at that position for Kansas City. And then Reed Blankenship, kind of ditto from the free safety spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. Such a really punishing tackler and can help out in pass coverage as well. So he is my pick. And then the coach, Andy Reid. I have come around on Nick Sirianni a lot, not that much. Give me Andy Reid and co for the for head coach. And so if you're wondering, and we're trying to keep track, well, don't. It is 10-9 in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, that would be a little bit more lopsided if we went with every offensive line spot. But yes, 10-9, the Eagles get it in our Super Bowl draft.